How's it going? Wooden Spoon Supercoach here. NRL Vegas is done for 2025. We've got all the noteworthy scores here for the second game. We'll bring the first one up in a sec. Just quickly, managed to hit a small bet on the Raiders to upset the Warriors. So we're just a smidge under $100 in the prize pool. So we'll get there with relative ease. Feel free to leave any comments of bets for round one. We've got a $25 budget for this week. Anyway, back to the scoring. So, bankers. Xavier Savage with a 92. He was incredible. Whether we all flock to him now. These scores are the first scores to come out of players' rolling averages. So, realistically, the score they get this week is the least important, next week is important, and the third week is very important. So don't take too much from these scores, don't make any rash decisions or whatever, but still, Savage with a 92, Strange with a 82, Chris with a 76. These guys are they're like your lower pod options. I don't really want to pick any of them. And I did say Tamale could come out and score really well. Still don't go there. If he's named next week, then get him. And only then. Otherwise, you get that 73, cool, but now you've got a bottom dollar cheapie stuck in your center wing. Zach Hosking was really good. Looks like he's got a good attacking upside, so at the price, he could be very good. By the way, break evens have come out, and I don't know if this is just kind of like their placeholders and they will be adjusted soon, but every single break even is matched with the player's average from last year. So Fisher Harris, his break even 54, and he is exactly priced at that. So Tamale going over his break even of 26. All the break evens are pretty much what you would expect, so we don't have to think too hard about them. Moving on from Tamale. Corey Horsburgh is quickly becoming my favourite non-Manly player. I love watching him. I found myself bored when he was off the field. I just want to see him just giving it his fucking all every time. He will be staying in my team for as long as I can possibly keep him. Tuivasa-Sheck with a 65, so him on the wing is proving to be a lot better. I couldn't talk you out of going with him, although he got a 71 break even there, so maybe there are a few players where the break evens are slightly, give or take, but for the most part, it's pretty consistent. Fisher Harris with his meat and potatoes. You're not going to make any money off him, but if you do want some consistent 55s, I think that's probably what he's going to offer. Aaron Clark with a 41 is good, but like if you see a bunch of 41s, you're like, yeah, he's doing good, he should make money, but he's 390k, so he's making 20k. So I prefer Voimanga, even though he has scored really badly, but that'll be out of his rolling average before any of the others. So while we're on him, Voimanga, when he did kind of pass the eye test, I liked the look of him. It just didn't really translate to scoring, and the Warriors got fucking flogged, so we can't really get too much from him. Metcalf, oh boy. I know everything I just said about not being too reactionary. This score is the least important. That's pretty concerning, and I think Metcalf, after this performance, is going to be a guy we play on matchups because, yeah, that was a tough watch. It's very hard to play 80 minutes of footy and score 6. So yeah, big worries there. Leia Tower, I know a few people put him in last minute. I didn't really like it at the price. It was like that awkward kind of 500k-ish price. Wasn't too keen on it. He wasn't terrible. If he scores a try, all of a sudden, he's generating a little bit of money. But yeah, if this is what the Warriors can dish up to Canberra, who aren't the strongest team, granted they're a lot better than everyone was expecting, I don't think there's going to be much attacking ball for Leia Tower, unfortunately. Owen Paddy with a 14. I've got him, and I know he's going to be a plotter, but I don't mind. Like, with the flex position, it's, there's already some low scores in here as well, but I'm not upset with these low scores. It's the start of the game. It's expected. You really shouldn't be cashing in any AEs. Joey Tarpany was really lackluster, having a slow start. I think he probably got a lot of points deducted from errors and ineffective offloads and stuff. And KO Weeks, who I took out of my team last minute, thanks to a comment from some guy. Cheers, bro. You saved me from scoring a 27 there as well. Look, he looks good, and I think against some weaker, well, you'd argue this is a weaker opposition, and he only scored 27, so maybe he takes a little bit longer to find his feet. If he gets a few lower scores, he might drop a little bit, and that could be very enticing to bring him in. And also, anyone who isn't on Luke Metcalf, keep an eye on his price drop, whether depending on what he scores next week. Moving on to Sharks and Penrith. A few more names here to go over. Isaiah Yeo. Oh, he's so good to have in your team. So good. He went over for that try, and I was like, yep, we could get 100 here. Didn't quite get the 100, but that's fine. We take 89s every day of the fucking week. Dane Laurie had a great game. Doesn't seem too attacking stat reliant, but realistically, him, Luke Garner, I think there's going to be players coming back to take over those guys, but they scored very well. Lindsay Smith in there as well, another front row forward option, which is kind of slim picking, so that's nice. Dylan Edwards, nice and consistent with a 70. I would take that. If I was going to go the three-gun fullbacks, he would have been my third behind Turbo and Ponga. It was just a bit expensive. But yeah, I think a combination of those three, that's probably what I'm going to target until Latrell Mitchell comes back. Give him a couple of games to pass the eye test and then get him back in. And then there's Tedesco over the origin period. Fuck that. Fullback is going to be full on this year. Where the fuck was I up to? Cleary, kind of underwhelming. He looked good. He definitely passed the eye test. He looks fit. He took a massive hit to the ribs and continued. So I don't think he's hampered at all. He was in amongst everything. It was just there was a lot of him having try involvements instead of try assists. So he's got his big scores in there waiting to come out. I would be scared of owning him. We'll quickly jump over to his counterpart, Nico Hines. Let's not forget he's not goal kicking. A 50 in a Sharks team that was very good, but again, it's against Penrith. When they, do their flat track bully thing and score a fuck ton, he'll score a fuck ton. So I can't recommend anything other than just locking those two guys in and not having to think about halfback until Origin time. Paul Alamotti, he was decent. Kind of expensive though. He's about 500k, so not too relevant. Tungo, same sort of story, but we've seen the heights he can hit with Cleary fit, and we saw a little bit of that in this game as well with the that fucking little dink over the top that he got on the full as he was falling. Oh, so good having the footy back. Moses Leota, I've got him here just as he's going to generate a little bit of cash, but it looks like he'll be a bit of a plotter. I was really keen on him, but pivoted. And he's not necessarily a banker, but he will make a little bit of money. Jesse Ramian had a huge game. And whenever the Sharks draw is good, I would really like to bring him in. I think he's got a lot of 90s in his arsenal. Adam Fanua-Blake, very good as well. So the two big dogs of the packs, Isaiah Yeo and Adam Fanua-Blake, both scoring a try. Getting that try and line break, which is always nice. They both looked incredible. I would like to target Adam Fanua-Blake, but that's just a lot of money to push up in the forwards when I've already got Isaiah Yeo, Homoli, Dylan Lucas, Terrell May. There's just not space for him. Nikora, he looked dangerous on his line running, as usual. As a pod, I actually really like that. I usually pick him up over the origin period, and he normally carves up there when teams are not full strength. Kale Iro, I don't really think many people are going to have him. A cheapie from last year who is now priced at how good he is. So I'd put him in the same category as like your Tuivasa Sheks, that kind of player. Trindle was decent. It looks like this combination of Trindle and Hines isn't going to be too detrimental to either of their scoring. It's very early to say that. But yeah, it does suck that Hines doesn't have the kicking. I don't really rate Trindle as an option, but he could prove me wrong. And we got Brayley here as well, similar to Leota. He's going to generate a little bit of money scoring like this, but I don't think it's worth the investment personally. So for round one, I'm going to continue the trend of betting on all the underdogs because, it's already working. We've got $8 back on $4 stakes. So every year it seems to get a little bit of money. So we'll get this up over $100. Hopefully, now that the season is kicked off, we'll get a few more comments of bets. I'll go over it again if you're new to the channel. I put forward an amount every week. This blue number here, I'm giving $25 for you guys to bet with. You comment bets, I put them on. If they win, they go to the prize pool. So we got 27 weeks of potentially rising the prize pool. Who knows how big it could get. Join the league. It's on the desk or on the screen there in white. And fuck yeah, footy's back. I'll see ya on Tuesday for teams list, and that's going to be a big video. A lot of cheapies to check up on. Footy's back. I fucking love it. Cheers, guys. Thanks for watching.